I just want to be an independent producer, but with an unexpected language.
And that casting, brought so much interest in the media. Everybody was Zeenat and Shabana together. Zeenat and Shabana. When we did it together, I didn't realize that it would, be so titillating for everybody.
So, what are the other Manish as producer touches? Like, what else happens?
I have like overeaten with parathas, white butter.
And then followed him.
And then because I ate so much.
Yeah.
No way! I swear.
I also went up to him one day and I said, "You could have taken anybody. you know all the boys. Why me?" And he's like, "No, you're perfect for the part."
He's looking hot.
He's looking hot.
Sweet as
No,
good body.
don't be so patronizing. He
Yeah.
was hot.
Thank you so much.
I'm always attracted to people who aren't afraid of being themselves and laying bare their vulnerability. And so that truth spoke to me. If the truth doesn't speak to me, then I tend to lose interest.
When a big film falls, I mean, it's a domino effect on a lot of smaller films.
Yeah.
Then we very casually say कि अरे films तो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, लोग नहीं देखेंगे. ऐसा नहीं है. When you make a sensible film, people do reward the film.
Welcome everyone to the Hollywood Reporter India. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am thrilled to be sitting here with so many amazing artists and to be talking about a really intriguing and exciting development on the film landscape, which is Stage5 Manish Malhotra films.
Thank you.
3 films, amazing actors, so many possibilities, right? I have to start with you, Manish.
Okay.
Okay, you told this story about how you sent one of these scripts to an actress friend who read the script and said no, because she said it's not a Manish Malhotra film. And you said to her, the films I will make are not Manish Malhotra kind. So give us a sense of the vision for Stage5 and, what's the larger ambition and what can we expect from these films apart from just incredibly good-looking and well-dressed people? I mean, I'm also really dressed up to sit on this table with you.
So, actually, I've always wanted to produce films and direct, write, something to do with movies. Because I think, as far as I remember, I've just loved films. So whether it's clothes, music, actors, style, I've seen it all through movies. So I think in my mind, even today, I react to everything via almost like a scene, because that's what I've studied, that's what I watched. And so it's been an ambition to be a producer, like I said, writer, director, all of it. But just before COVID, I kind of had this concept based on a fashion script. And when I got in touch with platforms, their first questions was, "Oh, are you going to get Kareena? Are you going to get so-and-so?" And so I thought, so they are looking at me more, for this cast and my friends. But I want to start a company which is based on its own merit. And I don't want to go to my friends. And I would like to look out for subjects that people don't expect out of me. And I don't want to look up like a Me Too of Yash Raj, Dharma, Excel, all the big productions who do such brilliant work. I just want to be an independent producer, but with an unexpected language. So I launched the company. I set out to look out for scripts, met a lot of directors, and then one day I liked the script very much, which was Saali Mohabbat, which was very different from what I would produce. So that excited me. Though I did call an actor friend who said, "But this doesn't sound like you." And I said, "Yeah, but it's a production, and I want to do something which doesn't necessarily have to sound like me." When I direct something, I'll of course direct something which comes from my heart. But this is something that I want to dabble in, in a world which probably, as you perceive, is not me. So she says, "But this is not us." So I was like, "No, it's a movie." And I think I want to work with actors who I don't know. I'm not friends with them. I don't know them, but I respected them as actors. And here's a script. So that's how it started. And then I called Radhika Apte, who I just met once or twice before she came over to the office. And that's how Saali Mohabbat came on. And Divyenndu is an actor who I absolutely loved in Mirzapur. And that's how when we went to him for the film, and that's how Saali Mohabbat started. And I was like, you know what? I'm just, movies has given me everything. from a name to a lifestyle to relationships to friendships. So it's not, you should always, it's a give back. I'll put in my own money. It's totally fine. In fact, Geo Studios came in much later. I had already planned to start the film with my own money. And while I was going to be starting Saali Mohabbat, Bun Tikki as a script, I remember I was in Karan's office, it was a Diwali Puja, and Mariki was talking about the film, and I said, but why haven't you come to me? So she was like, but would you make a film like that, which is, it's an emotional film, it does have an LGBT angle? I said, yes, I would love to. Why wouldn't I? And I just had a little bit of an experience with a director whose script was really long and was refusing to cut. Now, I come with a huge cinema experience.
Yeah.
I've done more than 800 films. I've been friends with
35
directors.
years this year, guys.
Wow.
The
Wow.
story was 1990.
Wow.
Can you
So
imagine?
25 years. So I
Amazing.
said that, but when I read the script, I found it too long. So I said, I'll only meet the director if he agrees to cut it.
Right.
So they said, yeah, the director will cut it, don't worry. And that's how Bun Tikki came on. And then Shabana ji was actually in my, the first 3 films, Shabana ji is my friend, and I've always been a friend with her, and we have Mishwan together. So then again, it was Abhay who, I kept saying we must go to Abhay for this role. And again, Abhay is where I met. So again, I think because of these 3 films, they are all now my friends. And we formed a very good bonding, and it's going to go on for life. For me, relationships that I form are always for life.
Nice.
हमारे
That's the
बारे में
beginning
नहीं
of
बोला।
Stage 5.
भूल गए, वो बाद में आएगा।
फिर उसके बाद
Vijay and Fatima,
Good.
Gustakh Ishq.
and now the third film that happened was I loved the world. I loved the world so much. Very unique, very poetic, beautiful, and I said Vijay will be just perfect for a role like that. Vijay came over and we chatted, and that's how Vijay came on board, which was very exciting because I feel Vijay is someone who's not done a romantic part, and he would just be so perfect for this world. And I don't know, one discussion, I had actually hardly met Fatima. I just said, I think Fatima will really suit this role, and I'm sending her the script. I sent her the script, and she was very responsive. And in 4 hours, she said, listen, I'll do the film. I really like the script. So that's how Gustakh
all
Ishq
came
started.
together.
So that was actually the 3rd film that started. And Geo Studios had already come into the first 2 films. But this film, I decided to do it on my own. Put in my own money. I want to just experience everything on my own. So these 4.5 years of Stage 5, every decision I've taken on my own. So the good is mine, the bad is mine. I just didn't ask a single friend, hey, you think I should do this? Because I feel friends are very protective.
Yeah.
And they'll always tell you, but this is not you, this is not your world. Why aren't you doing glamour? Why aren't you doing a film based on fashion? So I said, no, I think my first round of movies should be something absolutely unexpected.
Which is lovely. It's absolutely lovely. When you all read the scripts of the films that you're all in, did anybody have this response ki, but this is not a Manish Malhotra film?
So I was, yeah, 100%.
We all did.
I did, but
Yeah.
I was absolutely intrigued by that because I've known Manish for years and I've known what world he inhabits. But it's also a very strange world. उसमें कुछ अजीब चीजें भी निकल के आ जाती हैं। कुछ शाम बेनेगल की अंकुर भी उसमें निकल के आ जाती है। ऐसा है, ये मुझे मालूम है। तो मैंने कहा, Manish, I'm so proud of you because this is what I've wanted the big studios to do. I wanted Yash Raj to do that, Dharma to do that. Excel is of course doing it, but make films which dare to tell a different story. Because you're such a big company, you can afford to make a small film. But what they started doing was making copies of their own films on a lower budget. So when he came forward with this, I said, this is what I've been asking for years, and it's absolutely remarkable that you've agreed to do this. Even I was quite mystified how he thought of this and what he did, but I thought it was very brave, and I think that it's an example that many others should follow.
Yeah.
I guess we were all very pleasantly surprised that, a name like Manish Malhotra is producing scripts like these. Although I was thinking styling mein kuch alag hoga shayad, inka film. No, but absolutely, it's just so endearing to see someone like him to make a film like this. Yeah.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I read the script. It's very poetic and romantic, and it has that old world charm. It has that nazakat, and tehzeeb
I
and
mean, the
everything.
tagline is "Kuch pehle jaisa."
Yeah.
So it felt like an interesting marriage of somebody with such strong aesthetics and great personal values and great cinematic history and language and understanding would be such a great collaborator for a script like this. Although I also went up to him one day and I said, you could have taken anybody. You know all the boys. Why me? And he's like, no, you're perfect for the part and nobody has seen you as a romantic hero and I always seen you as somebody, he so I was like,
तो आपकी तो दिल की कलियां खिल गई होंगी ना हाय मनीष मल्होत्रा
तो I was
मैं
like,
पैसे नहीं लूंगा.
नहीं इतना नहीं करना.
No, I wasn't dying to be a romantic hero, but yeah.
But hey, it'll help us sort of therapize ourselves out of the har and darlings, right?
Yeah,
Now
but-
we see you completely differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Which
I
is
mean,
lovely.
yeah, it is lovely.
And he's looking sweet, and he's very sweet actually. Even I didn't expect him to be so romantic and intense.
He's looking hot.
He's looking hot.
Sweet
No,
as
no,
body word.
don't be so patronizing. He
Yeah.
looks hot.
Thank you so much.
Bichara was just looking down. Fatima, what did you say?
No, I was saying कि same. मतलब I didn't expect him. जैसे ये बोल रहा है कि why me? Because he could go to anybody. So I was wondering कि हैं why me? But it was nice to collaborate with him because he's very giving, understanding. It's not like कि ऐसा है कि बहुत experience से आते हैं तो उनका एक set way होगा. हम कभी-कभी assume करते हैं ना कि इतना experience से कोई आता है तो वो बहुत rigid होगा, which he's not.
He's
So it
not
was
at
a
all.
very easy collaboration, a beautiful world. And it's ये side में बैठ के produce नहीं कर रहे. He's very much involved
Yeah.
every step में. So that's very nice to see.
Yeah.
Like he's really, really invested. It's not like a side business for him.
Correct.
It's his baby.
Yeah. You had once said to me that I'm in the fashion and the designing and the costumes from sort of whatever. You wake up super early, 9 to 5, that's what you do. And then you're like, and 6 o'clock I go home and then it's movies.
He's
But
very
it's not 9 to
enthusiastic
9
about
is
it.
work and then it's movies.
It's movies.
Also the three directors, Faraz, Tisca, Vibhu, the good directors with good scripts, and all had written their scripts, which is and like I had not seen Faraz's work because he had made a short film before that, and Tisca had never directed a film. Vibhu's film also I had not seen, which released many years ago. But what was good for me was that they had written the scripts. So then it was like, okay, when you write a script yourself, you can direct it. And then we are always there to look into the edit and look into music, which we're very fond of. And especially in Gustakh Ishq, I really enjoyed working with Vishal Bhardwaj and Gulzar Saab.
Oh yeah.
It's been
Wow.
it's beautiful to
What
have
were
worked
those
with them.
sessions like?
It was wonderful. I mean, it was just like again, I think with Vishal Saab, he's again someone like who's honestly, first I was a bit like, how would it be? Like because I'm not. In fact, my first meeting with Naseer Saab was to discuss his price. And I was nervous. I was like, I've not really met him. I've met him once or twice, like, hello, sir, kind of thing. And here I'm going to meet him. I still remember that drive. It was a Sunday evening from my house to his house, which is just 5 minutes away. I'm like talking to myself, so you're a producer now. Now you have to speak price, And same with Vishal Saab. I was a bit like, he's such a big director, such a big music director. How would it be? People perceive arty, commercial. It's all in our minds, right?
Yeah.
He again was so adaptable. And in fact, meeting with Gulzar Saab and in fact saying that, ye gana nahi karte, should we do a song on Musafir? And him being Gulzar Saab saying, yeah, chalo, acha theek hai, main ek aur gana likhta hu on Musafir.
So you can give Gulzar Saab feedback.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it was so good. And I think all the three directors, they've all been very good in the feedback. And sometimes if they have not been, I put my foot down.
What is that like? What is Manish Malhotra putting his foot down like? Are you a screamer?
No, I'm not a
No,
screamer.
Not
not
at
at
all.
all.
Not at all.
No,
Not
I'm a
at all.
screamer at work.
No. But no.
Not as a
But
producer.
he,
Not as a producer.
matlab, because he has worked with actresses all his life, and he knows कि उनको ये नहीं पसंद है, उनकी ये फिटिंग ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए, वो तो उनको एक बहुत अच्छा आर्ट है कि जैसे कि शबाना आजमी है, इनको मनवाना कैसे. शबाना आजमी सबसे पहले no, I can't possibly wear this. Let's just try it. अरे नहीं पहन के देख ले, फिर चेंज कर देंगे. फिर थोड़ा सा ऐसा कर दीजिए शबाना आजमी becomes plain and then
Yeah.
okay whatever.
It's
It's the
absolutely like
MN
that.
seduction
I
technique.
feel like producers, I don't know why producers feel ki, oh, actors. I actually think that, I don't know, maybe I've worked a lot with actors. I actually feel actors are, they have a wider spectrum. They are thinking about themselves, of course, many times, but they're also thinking about the movie. And I think today's actors, especially the actors on this table, are actors. I was very surprised when we saw our film and when Fatima had a feedback, and I kept admiring her. And even Vijay, their feedback was not about or Abhay, or their feedback has never been like, you know, I am like that in the film. It's been about the film. And so that made me feel so good that that's why they're the actors that they are. That they're not just seeing themselves in the film, they're seeing the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's been a great discovery, and it's been a great experience. Even with Abhay, when we started working, you know, he's so interested in the script, in the edit, and
I cut my hero scene, remember, which was
Yeah.
retained.
yeah, he was like, no, let's not do that. So he's so he's got such a good eye to screenplay himself. So I think that is wonderful. You know?
Abhay, you said Bun Tikki is one of the 3 best scripts you've ever read.
So it's up there amongst the top 5.
That's high
let's say.
praise.
It is. And like as he was saying earlier, when he said, you know, these directors, I hadn't seen their work, I just read their scripts. I'm like, welcome to my life. Because, most of my stuff has been debut directors. So you can only judge them if they've written their own scripts.
Yeah.
And this was a solid script. And I mean, making fun of the hero scene, so to speak. Like, it was nice that I could talk to them and say, hey guys, I think this works beautifully, but some things are forced. And I always feel wary now before I say anything because I don't want to be misunderstood. And they were really responsive, and it was just a positioning of that scene. And so I remember having these script discussions with them before anything else. And I think for me, that made me more comfortable that they weren't coming from any like, I have said this, so, you know, Manish has always been humble. And I don't know what to say. It's
He's very good in the film. He's the best thing. Really, honestly.
Oh, this is sweet. I have Shabana support, so it was.
Shabana, you tell this lovely story about your first day of shoot of Rocky or Rani ki Prem Kahaani. Okay.
Tell me about it, sister.
Which, of course, you, Manish, did many of the costumes for. So you said ki Jamini, your character, is
It's a Bengali lady, okay?
Yes.
And she is in the kitchen and she's making machir jhol.
Yeah.
Now, इससे ज़्यादा Bengali चीज़ आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Auntie is in a long wig with hair open and silk sari Manish Malhotra has put her in and a silk blouse. And I'm saying, Karan, in the kitchen I can't be wearing a silk sari and a silk blouse. And मैं बाल तो खुले छोड़ ही नहीं सकती हूँ, पूरे मेरे माचर झोल में आ जाएंगे. तो ये मच्छी की करी में आ जाएंगे कैसे में? ये करण जौहर की फिल्म है, इसमें ऐसे ही.
No, you have to look good. Right? So Bun Tikki, maybe she kept saying, but Zeenat and me are at home. How are we so dressed? I said, "You're not
We
that
look
bad."
really good in Bun Tikki. I read it and
love
thinking
that.
like,
I
okay,
love
middle
that.
class, you know, teacher, blah, blah, blah. And there he is in these stylish clothes. And, I'm like, and the way all are looking iconic. First of all, her and Zeenat together, I was a bit like, wow, to see them together.
So special.
But then they dress so beautifully and it goes well. It's not a film it's a feel-good film, as dramatic as it is. And I think the clothes just lent such a story to it as well, I think. It worked beautifully.
Apart from the clothes, right? Because, of course, we want all Manish Malhotra characters to look beautiful, even in an interview, right?
Yeah, even though we're rather overdressed, but this is Manish's idea of a casual.
But are there other things that a Manish Malhotra character does? You know, in the way that in a Karan Johar world, she's wearing silk with open hair and making fish curry.
No, but that's the way the world of that film is.
Yeah.
I think in Saali Mohabbat, we've been, or even in Gustakh Ishq, we've been very true to the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you cannot, in Bun Tikki is a different kind of film, which is shot in Shimla. It's more...
The way it works, as stylish as it is, it still felt true to its
worked.
world.
It's part of that.
It still felt true to its
But
world,
if
and
you
that's what I
see,
thought was unique.
if you see in Saali Mohabbat, the way Radhika Apte is, the way Divyenndu is, they're very true to their characters.
Yeah.
Likewise in Gustakh Ishq. But where the sass can come is like, when you were doing fittings, and Vijay looks very good because he's very tall, and salwars look very good on him. and I was very keen that he should wear shawls. You know, because shawls is something that I find shawls very. Amit ji used to wear them.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
he's worn them in some
K3G,
films, yeah.
my God,
So
pajame
yes,
wals.
even in his like
Yeah.
silsila, and
Of
you know.
course.
So I just feel shawls have there's such a sex appeal and an attitude.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how when we were doing fittings, I said, no, let's make him wear a lot of shawls. You know, it's winter. We're showing the film in winter, and so I think that's you just add that to its language of the film. You
Correct.
can't go against the language of the film.
Yeah, it has to be organically
it has to blend it.
sort of in.
I mean,
yeah,
I
it's just
don't-
a shire.
Yeah,
It's about a press owner seeking a shire to run his to run the organization. So the character also required him to present himself
और
like a
ठंडी
shire.
भी है तो
ठंडी
है।
ऐसा नहीं है कि गर्मी में
तो
बैठ के
मनीष
आप
मल्होत्रा
call
का शॉल लिया और विभू पुरी ने उसको चाय के पानी में बार-बार
Oh,
डुबो
Yeah.
ओए अरे अरे तोबा
उसको थोड़ा सा एज करके, क्योंकि 5,000 रुपए नहीं है इनके पास तो
तो एज
तो हम लोग
बट मैंने हीरोइन के कपड़े बोला वो मैं नहीं करूंगा. It's a romantic film because in Radhika's clothes we aged and we kept aging. In Fatima's case, I said no way am I going to do that.
She
because-
has to be
I'm
exquisite
gonna
in the
keep-
pink
But you did
salwar.
give me a jacket. though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did wear that.
Yeah.
But I think it just goes in that world. You know, we're
Yeah.
also presenting all of this. I think that sometimes we think that we want to be so real, but for me, it has to be like a blend of.
It's
yes,
still
very real,
cinematic.
but still
because
it's
he's a
cinema.
Yash Chopra fan.
yeah.
Yeah, huge.
Then पूरा वो जितनी भी यश चोपड़ा की heroines ने Alps में येलो शिफॉन की साड़ी पहनी है with sleeveless blouse मनीष मल्होत्रा.
So also Yashji. So Fatima का ये था कि नहीं, I just wanted to look. She's very sadharan in the film, but still beautiful.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
What do you mean
So I
still
said-
beautiful? But Sardar are very
No,
beautiful.
sadharan is beautiful, but what I meant was that simplicity is very beautiful. But I meant that like not that we gain an extra bang.
गलत
there's
पकड़ा.
extra-
Right.
This is fun on our set with the two of them together.
You'll miss that one.
So, Vijay and Fatima, you're playing these old school sort of romantics, right? And this kuch pehle jaisa, you're both looking at each other. You put that flower in your hair. There's that misty morning and a tea
Yeah.
together, right? What does it take to put yourself in that headspace, which is so different from anything any of us know anymore? Even in the movies, we rarely see it.
You're just honest to the character and the world. क्योंकि जब आप ओवर थिंक करते हो, ओवर एनालाइज करते हो, तो फिर आप दूर जाओगे उस दुनिया से. आई एम नॉट थिंकिंग अबाउट कि कौन सा पीरियड है क्या नहीं है, इमोशन सही है कि नहीं. अगर इमोशन करेक्ट है, देन एवरीथिंग इज फॉलोइंग इन प्लेस. सो फॉर मी इट्स ऑलवेज दैट, यू नो.
Yeah, I think we shot it in peak winter in Punjab, in Amritsar, Chandigarh, and Patiala. And we went to all these beautiful old buildings and old houses and havelis and architectural, archaeological sites, which is where we shot in mornings. So माहौल पूरा है.
करेक्ट.
We just have to present ourselves in that माहौल and enjoy it.
या
That is what we did. And फिल्म की लिखाई भी ऐसी है कि उसमें भाषा का बहुत बड़ा उसका एक फ्लेयर
योगदान
है.
है,
हाँ,
yeah.
उसका एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट प्रेजेंस है उस
वो
भाषा
खुद
का.
का एक खुद में कैरेक्टर है.
हाँ, तो उस स्क्रिप्ट के साथ जब कुछ 20-30 दिन हमने बिताए पढ़ के, एक तो जबान वैसे हमारी घूमती नहीं है क्योंकि
Correct.
बोलना भूल गए उस तरह
So
की भाषा.
tough.
तो करते रहे, रियाज करते रहे, प्रैक्टिस करते रहे. So once you start talking in that language, wearing those outfits, presenting yourself for those moments, for the day, for those scenes, it's there. And we had a very helpful director. We had, I was working with Naseeruddin Shah.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment to just sing that in. I've been hero worshipping him ever since I was a 20-year-old. I always wanted to work with him. I always wanted to actually learn under him. I used to. He had come for at the film school where I was studying, but not during the time I was there. He came before I was there and after I was there. So I'd heard stories about his classes and how important they are. So once I had come to Bombay, moved to Bombay, I found out that he's doing a class in Pune. So me and another friend, we went and enrolled ourselves in his classes. He refused to take us in, but we stood outside
Really?
till
He
lunch
refused
break.
to take you in?
Because he's like, this is for another class and these students will be, interrupted
Distracted,
because
huh?
you're seniors. And so we just waited outside. So breakfast was over, lunch was over, evening class. He stepped out of the day's work and he's like, you guys are still here? I said, yeah, ठीक है.
aa jao.
Kal aa jao. So next day we went, sat in his class, and you have to understand the kind of work he does with actors. At this, he's been doing it relentlessly. He's one of the guy I always wanted to, learn from, and to get an opportunity to spend 2 months in the winters with Naseeruddin Shah
And you learn
doing
so
this.
much.
Wonderful working with him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been मेरा life सफल हो गया मुझे लगता है.
So he's not scary on set, Vijay?
No,
he's
no,
a
no,
softie.
He's become
No?
extremely.
He was in the classes though, back at FTI.
No, but
Very.
he was meticulous. He would catch you, and if you try to be smart about it, boss, you're gone. You just listen. He's got a very sharp eye.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
extremely
I
perceptive.
got a lovely message from him saying that you're one of the best producers I've ever worked with.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, thank
That,
God.
nice.
I have not
Nice.
heard that sentence about anybody in the 50
I think
years that I've worked
he's
with.
become very
He's
cute and
become,
soft.
he's very soft and lovely.
Yeah. I'm seeing the
Actually, you all should
best
do a film
version of
together.
Huh?
You all should now do a film
Yeah,
together.
there was a time when we were doing 10
Yeah,
films
yeah.
together.
Yeah, you're
So
with the
I
pair.
used to spend more time with him than with Javed, and Ratna used to spend less time with him than I did with him. Really, it was like that. And then suddenly, अब शेखर कपूर की film में, next film.
Nice.
Shabana, do you have to make people around you comfortable because you're as much an institution as Naseer?
I can't bear this being institutionalized. I can't bear it.
But you are now.
Please.
नहीं, मुझे माफ कर दो. Please मुझे institutionalize मत कर दो.
आप इंस्टीट्यूट से हैं.
makes you feel,
गए भी हैं.
I have to say this because she makes you really like you're protected.
Really?
At least I felt like I'm very comfortable. I'm supported. The institution comes because she's unaware of that institution. She doesn't wear it on her sleeve. So I don't know if she can answer that question, but I can, which is like having her there felt like, okay, I'm taken care of here.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
नहीं, but the thing is, मेरे लिए बहुत important that I get on with my co-actors, because see, acting is reacting, and if your co-star is telling the truth, आपका काम तो आसान हो गया ना. आप उनकी आंखों में देख रहे हो और फिर then you are reacting. So it's very important that your co-actors are completely comfortable and that you are comfortable with them, and which is why I have had this ability, I don't know how it comes, is that, I've worked with a whole lot of younger people, and then they continue to be my friends much after the film is over. It sort of just happens
Organically.
absolutely organically,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's very important. I cannot work under tension. I cannot work under,
Yeah.
toxic hostility. Some people get very excited by that. I can't. I have to have a very
I
happy
absolutely agree
happy
with you.
atmosphere.
Yeah,
बहुत
yeah.
ज़रूरी है.
My favorite memory from your birthday party was you and Rekha and Vidya and
Oh,
Urmila
wow.
and all of you
And
dancing
Madhuri,
together
yeah.
and Madhuri. And I just felt like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
women of every generation together. It was so lovely.
I was holding Rekha ji's hand saying that you can't leave, you have to do this. She says, no, they'll drag me to dance. I said, they will drag and you have to do it.
By the way, this song is trending again.
Yeah, I believe Pretty Little Baby is all over the place. Connie
Revive the song.
Francis.
That's so
lovely.
wonderful. Divyenndu, your film, Saali Mohabbat, is directed by Tisca,
Ji.
who I think it sounds delicious because the descriptor says it's about a married woman who gets involved with infidelity, deceit, and murder.
Wow.
Tell me about what can you reveal to us? This film is, of course, coming in December. What can you tell us about the movie?
There is a certain एक mystique है film के बारे में. There is a certain flavor to the script that when I read it, I was like, कुछ है, कुछ खुशबू है इसमें. और वो खुशबू इन्हीं चीजों की है. नहीं, धनिया पुदीना की नहीं.
Infidelity की.
But it's been written so beautifully, and mystique is the word actually, because you don't get to realize ये कौन कर रहा है, क्यों कर रहा है और कैसे कर रहा है. So in the film also, mine and Radhika's characters, they run parallelly. और वो कहीं बीच में कहीं मिलते हैं, and then because there is certain investigation, I play a cop in that, and लेकिन कुछ एक बात थी उसमें जो अनकही बात है, उसी का सबसे ज्यादा मजा था when I read the script.
Nice.
See, I have friends, and if I send the script and say, they say, Arey, should you make it? It's a risk, it's a this. But I think films are a risk. And if you are not willing to take that risk and chance, then you can't be a producer. And if you're not willing to take a decision, I think lots of times, and I was also busy with the Ambani wedding at that time. I was styling the wedding with Mrs. Ambani. All the clothes and all these films were being made. So when my people would call me, it would be like no, we are doing this Shimla schedule for Bun Tikki, or we are taking this step. I think that's very important. I think at the top level, if there is no clarity,
Yeah.
it just kind of
Yeah.
goes into the entire films,
Yeah.
and that's why I could finish the films on time. I could finish everything about it on time.
Abhay, you said about Faraz that because he identifies as non-binary, Bun Tikki has an authenticity. Tell me about that for the two of you, just doing this film with this director and what it brought to the texture.
I'd already done a film with Faraz, the short film,
The Sheer Korma.
Sheer Korma,
Yeah.
which is really a very, very lovely film. And so I knew that this boy had a certain passion and a certain inherent talent. So when he narrated this to me, I mean, it was like for him so important that I should be in the film. I said, I don't really need to be in this film. No, you have to be. So then I succumbed to being third fiddle to Abhay Deol, only because he convinced me, and of course because Manish was producing the film. तो उसमें तो कोई सवाल ही नहीं पैदा होता है.
Well, I mean, it's about identity. It's about finding one's identity and how you belong, and how the world is going to perceive you, and what do you risk, and that's his life. So when I read this
it's his
script,
everyday.
it's his everyday.
Yeah.
So when I read that, I could see that he was speaking from his life experience. There was an authenticity to his writing, and I'm always attracted to people who aren't afraid of being themselves and laying bare their vulnerability. And so that truth spoke to me. If the truth doesn't speak to me, then I tend to lose interest.
Yeah.
So this spoke to me, and I met him, and of course Shabana was there as well. So I was like, okay, with Manish, I felt something like this. I've taken chances with such voices in the past, but it never had the support of a bigger producer, big name, big actors. I was always kind of holding it on my own. Here to have Manish and Shabana there backing it, I was like, okay. And I also feel like perhaps this film will be protected when it comes to marketing and distribution, which is something I've lacked for most of the work that I've done.
Yeah. What was that first day like with Shabana and Zeenat Aman in the same frame? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, what a moment.
Sorry, but it was a moment for me. I was just
Absolutely.
For all of us.
just walking in there.
No,
Yeah.
Is this happening?
That castings, brought so much interest in the media. Everybody was Zeenat and Shabana together. Zeenat and Shabana. When we did it together, I didn't realize that it would, be so titillating for everybody. Really, honestly.
It's true. Icons and legends coming together. It's a moment.
That frame,
It's a
the
powerful
frame feels iconic, and then he dressed them up. So it's just like
I've seen visuals and Zeenat in these pearls.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's gorgeous.
he without knowing it, he celebrates cinema. And it was such a celebration of them on that set.
Shabana, what was you reunited after 30, 40 years?
Yeah, the
Wow.
last thing that we'd done together, I thought was Ashanti.
Ashanti.
Yeah. So it was, but Zeenat is exactly the kind of person she was. Because when I first worked with Zeenat in Ishq Ishq Ishq, she was a huge star at that time, and we were just starting. And she didn't make, because Zarina Wahab was there, I was there, and
Padmini Kolhapuri.
Padmini Kolhapuri, all of us. And she didn't let on that she was this big star. She's an extremely polite and well-behaved person, and she continues to be
How
to
lovely.
this day. Yeah, she's very, very polite and also very generous in her praise of you. उसमें कोई competition ये वो मतलब दिल से खोल के आपकी तारीफ करती है. She's lovely. I like her very, very much.
She called you a delightful producer because apparently she had a birthday on the Shimla shoot.
Yeah.
And she said flowers were very tough to source or something, and you sent her a bouquet as big as her.
I'm always dramatic about flowers.
Always.
His bouquet, when they
He-
come,
he- yeah, yeah,
you
he
don't
does
have to
that.
read.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah.
read who it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
from.
नहीं मगर मेरे
Like I
घर
love
में अगर
flowers.
वो आया
मुझे पता है
मनीष
कि
का,
मनीष का है.
तो वो जब तक 2-3 टुकड़े करके फिर 4-5
अंदर ना
लोग
घुसो।
लाके
लेके
फिर
गए.
उनको नहीं
I
होगी तो
love
वो
flowers. Even
वो
my house is full of
मनीष का नहीं
flowers.
होता.
It was like a door coming,
Yeah.
full of flowers,
I've
inside
literally
your
taken
house.
pictures hiding behind it, but I'm not visible. just to kind of
मुझे नहीं
make the
भेजे हुए
joke work.
flowers. What is this? I feel
You're in
left out
Goa,
now.
na?
गोवा में भेज दो.
अच्छा, अभी भेज दो।
गोवा में कुछ और
That's right. So, what are the other Manish as producer touches? Like, what else happens?
Khana?
Khana. I was going to come to that.
Khana.
So I'll tell you what. So Vibhu doesn't give too many lunch breaks. Yeah, so what? So I was
Let's talk about lunch
when
breaks.
I reached Patiala, I was like, आज तो full.
हम
on
खुश हो
lunch
जाते
break
थे।
हम लोग खुश रहते थे कि
हम
आज
लोग
lunch
मनीष
break
आ गया,
होगा।
मनीष आ गया।
नहीं खाना
Running
होता था
break, आधा
लेट
घंटा
ब्रेक होता था
Right?
so I was like सब pause होगा because you know that's me as a person like
Correct.
for me breakfast and lunch really matters it's like a Punjabi mind you know so I was like it's winter you're in Punjab I'm not missing this opportunity of full on paratha and everything
उफ।
so yeah so that's what
तो आप दोनों खुश हो गए
हम
Yeah.
लोग खुश
हम
हो
लोग
जाते
बच्चे
थे
जैसे हो
because
जाते थे
suddenly
कि
हमको
मनीष
लगता
आ
था,
गया
अच्छा
ना,
पूरा 1 घंटे का लंच ब्रेक वाओ we will sit and eat
and I have like overeaten with parathas, white
yeah.
butter.
and then fallen ill
And then because I ate so much.
Yeah.
No way.
I swear I had
and
like
then
5
director
6
is like ज्यादा
parathas.
खा लिया
मतलब इतना खा लिया कि I got sick.
Maybe as a producer, you should be more mindful. of
Please
these
ask
things.
him if any film that he has produced has been within budget. So, chota sa.
I don't. I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad. But I think what happens is कि अच्छा कर लेते हैं. Like I remember we were going to shoot Bun Tikki Nainital. So Faraz came to me and said, you know, this first schedule we should do in Shimla. So Jio also thought, okay, let's do it in Nainital only. I said, no, I think Shimla will be better. Shimla ही करते हैं. So that was I don't know. I just go with the flow. I'm learning.
But with our film, you didn't like you were very precise, right?
No, we did
Gustakh
go.
Ishq?
We did go. Yeah,
No, but
of
with
course.
Saali Mohabbat, Dehradun again, you were
Yeah.
like, acha, Dehradun, that could have been cheated anywhere else.
Yeah.
But he said
But he said कि
No, I know
Dehradun
because
ही
Tisca
चाहिए.
said Dehradun, and I think see, as a producer, you cannot be sitting there and taking a shot. It has to be the director's vision.
Yeah.
Where you come as support is that okay, let's do it because you've conceived it that way, and then of course you look into the edit and you look into the music and of course the casting, all of that. But on the set, I was always with what the director wanted, and she wanted Dehradun. So it was Dehradun. But then I kept
That's
saying,
lovely.
थोड़ा
Yeah, it's
shots
very,
ले
very
लीजिए, बाहर के shots,
थोड़ा खोल
big
दो,
shots.
थोड़ा खोल दो।
दिखाना चाहिए.
Yeah.
आए ना?
अब आए तो दिखा दो.
So, Manish, in all these years, 35 years of working with so many producers, so many directors, what have you learned what not to do?
I think not interfere during the shooting. Secondly, respect your director. Because if you don't respect the director,
Then
if you
nobody's
start
going to.
arguing and
Yeah.
fighting with the director on set, then nobody will.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think
That's a big one.
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And I think that films are all about calm decisions. You know, you just have to say, and if you're going to think constantly money, then you'll always be a very tight-fisted producer who's not opening up. And everybody will feel like, oh, you know, I could have done this, but he didn't make me do it. So you have to let go at the right time and sometimes control things as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's that balance. I think that's what it is. And for me, I think I've lasted for so long in the industry and had so many friends. I mean, from working from Chunky to Ananya, from Sridevi to Janvi, I think because I'm very honest in my approach. I would say that this doesn't work, or why don't we try this? So I think I've been very honest with my filmmakers. Many times I might have not liked my honesty. Like sometimes Karan says that's so honest that I'm also looking at the phone. Did he just say that? But I think it's respected.
Yeah.
But
in
you
the
know,
long
he
run.
collaborates with his director. So it's not an antagonistic relationship कि ये मेरे पैसे ज़्यादा खर्च करवा रहा है, you know.
Yeah.
The director feels he's solidly supporting
Supported,
me.
yeah.
So
Even
that
actors, yeah.
is something which is very important,
Even
I
actors,
think,
yeah.
between
Yeah.
a director and a producer. That is the most important thing. That the director should feel ये मेरे vision में मेरे साथ मेरी help
He's
कर
got
रहा
my
है.
back.
Yeah.
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 And also,
He's got my
we
back.
never got a feeling, even a whiff of it, that Manish being a producer saying a certain thing, कि ऐसे करना चाहिए या वैसे करना. कभी-कभी लगता था थोड़ा सा तो, you know, बोल भी दो, कोई बात नहीं. But I guess, I mean, credit goes to you to just not interfere in the process of a director at all.
I
That's
mean, that discussion I feel should have at the edit. You know, where it's the
Or
it's
at the
thing.
script.
Or at the
And I
yeah.
would
Yeah.
not actually understand a director who would feel like the producers taking away from me because see, I come from a very secure space. I already have a name. I'm not ready. I'm not there to take any
Credit.
director's name or credit. I'm only here to give credit and support. So if I would feel that if the director is feeling that I'm going to take away something from the film, I wouldn't, because I put my money into it.
Yeah.
So then I would leave that approach if there would be an approach like that. I didn't face that, but
Yeah.
if I ever face that, I would feel, but that's silly in my case.
Yeah. These films sort of occupy this really important middle ground between the small budget, very arty indie films and the big budget, sort of big scale ones,
Entertainments.
right? The spectacles. And pre-pandemic, these were the films that sustained the ecosystem. They were the films that, what came to be known as the content-driven films, these lovely stories of human beings,
Yeah.
right? And somehow now, the
Damn it,
convention.
I miss them so much.
I miss them so
I miss them. I miss
where
them
are the
dearly.
people? सब एक दूसरे
It
को
hurts.
मारते रहते हैं.
It
कोई
hurts.
you know what
It
I'm
really
saying?
hurts.
It hurts,
Yeah,
right?
it hurts to see.
And I wonder if, as artists, all of you, like, are you concerned about this very polarized approach that
course.
it's either go big or go home?
Of course.
Or do you think कि एक दो hit हो जाएंगी and we'll be back in?
That's the pursuit.
Yeah.
That's the pursuit I have been having, and I've been talking to a lot of filmmakers about this, is to kind of do our bit to revive it instead of sitting and complaining about
Yeah.
it. We have to put ourselves out there, try it, and hope it
Changes and
resonates with
shifts
people and it brings the palette back. It's like how they say for the neuroscience, they say you have to fire those neurons again.
Yeah.
Collectively, if we fire those neurons again, hopefully the experiment will work.
But
But the idea is to bring those movies back in theaters again.
But the trend also shifts ना. वो तो एक moment होता है, फिर वो वापस cycle बदल जाता है.
But
वापस
it's
बदल
so
जाता है.
weird that time and again it's been proven that when you make a project or a film with a sensible story or actors and technicians, it always work.
Yeah.
Always people
not
do
always.
reward
It can't be
you.
a project. See, when
No.
it's project driven, then you say कि अच्छा इन actors को ले लो, इस director को ले लो, ये
इतना
जो है
पैसा
फिर
डाल दो.
ये बिल्कुल
ये-
गलत
मतलब
है.
combination कर लो.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Yeah.
It should be a story that inspires you, and then you think कि कौन actors इसमें
Correct.
I agree.
आएगा.
Yeah.
I agree.
Intention.
That's the most important
I
thing.
think
But at the
Divyenndu was
moment we're
saying
just
so-
making
yeah.
proposals,
Yeah.
and we're getting lost in those proposals because there is no guarantee. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने ये star को
ले
कास्ट
लिया
किया
तो
है
इतना
तो
पैसा आएगा ही
सचमुच
आएगा.
इसकी फिल्म
In fact, वो ज़्यादा problem करता है because
बहुत.
when a big film falls, I mean it's a
Precisely.
domino effect on a lot of smaller films.
Yeah.
Then we very casually say कि अरे films तो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, लोग नहीं देखेंगे. ऐसा नहीं है. When you make a sensible film, people do reward the film.
Absolutely.
Definitely yes.
Yeah.
But कितनी दफा ऐसा होता है कि अच्छी फिल्म बनी है, great content, amazing script, great director, acting सब कुछ सही है, but it's still not working on box office.
Yeah.
तो फिर क्या? और ये होता है. So
वो होगा ही होगा.
वो तो
I mean
होगा.
you can't do anything about it.
Distribution and
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah.
all
Yeah.
depends
Right
on
producer.
the.
You
It
can't
all
just have a
depends
good
on the.
product. It also
just-
needs to be marketed. It's like when Manorama 600 came out, people didn't know it was playing in the
Yeah.
cinemas.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was
So-
such a good film.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people were,
Yeah.
and we made that for 3 crores at that time. We
Correct.
could have made 5-6 easily.
Yeah.
But they spent like they had 60 screens and 25 lakhs marketing.
Yeah.
कोई नहीं आने वाला उस पर. But that's the only life I've known. When you said that it's gone, but it was always a struggle to put this out there. And
Yeah.
what's happened over these 20 years I've been here is that it's become more and more insecure as opposed to more secure. You thought corporatization would maybe democratize things, which it did for a bit,
And
but
again,
then they retracted back because I think even people within the corporate space are more looking out at their subscribers, not just like the producers
Numbers.
before were looking at.
But like
the
I'm taking
ticket
that big
sales.
chance with
You
Gustakh
are.
Ishq, you know.
No, you
Yeah.
are.
And I don't feel I'm taking a chance, but to a lot of people, they feel like, oh, okay, why didn't you think of it directly to go to on
Streaming.
an OTT, on a
Yeah.
streaming platform?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's got beautiful music, it's got good visuals. I wanted to release in the theater. Now the thing is, okay, if the film does well, people will say visionary. And suppose if the film, God forbid, doesn't do
We told you
something
so.
well. Yeah, I told you so. But for me, it's not about the film doing well or not doing well.
Yeah.
For me, as a first film of Stage 5 production, it was very important for the film to release in the theater. For me,
Yeah.
that's my sense of achievement,
Yeah.
and not its success.
Yeah.
While the world might see it that way, I'm not seeing it that way.
And
And not
that's
that I'm not
Yeah.
going to, not that I'm waiting. Oh, let me first release these 3 films,
फिर मैं
and then I'll
देखूंगा.
think of the next three.
Yeah.
I'm already working on the next three.
Really?
Yeah, you know, so for me, it's not going to be. Suppose if this doesn't work, that doesn't mean that I'll go back to saying, no, I'm only going to make clothes and not make films. I'll still continue to make films.
This is
and
exactly
taking
the
that
kind of
chance.
change that I've been.
Yeah,
talking
this
about.
is what we
This is-
need.
this is
Yeah.
what we need.
More people
Yeah.
like this.
Believing.
Yes.
And,
Believing.
And that was happening with
brave.
streaming. Some of
Yes.
the best films we've seen
Yeah.
has been from the streaming, the movies and the series.
Yeah.
And that they occupied our attention for so long. But I feel like theaters also need good films.
Yeah.
Like some of the films that are working, they're not great films. But
But you know, in the West, there is the concept of the independent producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
makes, which we had many years ago. But in the last 15 years, it's all very corporate. And we don't have independent producers making maybe intimate films as perceived small films or which can become larger tomorrow. So and I think as Stage 5, we want to be that intimate, independent producer who's following good directors, good content. I mean, what we like. And seeing to that we continue making films.
It's also that the industry needs to come together and support one another.
Yeah.
It's more of a competitive space than a supportive one.
yeah,
And so if one just actually treated the fraternity with more compassion and support, then we would see a lot more chances being taken. But over here, you take a chance, and if it doesn't work, as they say, as good as your last Friday box office sale. And if we could only just come together and be like, no, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at the quality that you're putting out. I'm not looking at the sales you're making.
But Abhay, that's what we all remember is the
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
I mean, remember frames of Maso.
Yeah.
You know, you standing in front of that cupboard when he tells you that I have another child, and you shut it.
Yeah.
I mean, that frame has never left my mind. So it's finally no one asks you kitne paise the.
Paise
What was
bana.
that
Yeah.
Friday?
Yeah. Yes.
Right, and we all know this,
yeah.
and yet there are too few of you.
Yeah.
Only one right now.
Okay, last question to you, Manish. When does direction happen?
When the direction happen, you know, sometimes I feel, is it for me? Is it not for me? Because
It
many
is for you.
times I've tried, and it's you know, and I got busier with my brand, and but there is one or two thoughts in my mind. But you know, direction is all about you wake up that morning and say, "नहीं ये तो मुझे बनानी है,"
Yeah.
and I'm waiting for that morning. क्योंकि
Nice.
जब वो morning आएगी, then I will 100% go for that. Till then, I'm backing directors and storytellers.
Yeah.
Please do that.
that's
Yeah.
what it is.
More power to you.
Absolutely. More
absolutely.
power to you and to all of you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank
and
you.
good luck with all these movies.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Please
Thank you.
watch Gustakh Ishq in
Thank you.
November.
Yes.
Yes, November in the theaters. Watch our film Gustakh Ishq in the theaters this November. You're just simply going to love it. It's a world that's not come recently, and you're going to fall in love with it. And I'm Manish Malhotra. Thank you, Hollywood Reporter, for having us. Please subscribe to Hollywood Reporter India.